Welcome to Part 4 of the Azure Quiz Series by FullStackDev. This part focuses on Azure Database Services, Analytics, and Data Movement Tools. Question 1. Which Azure service provides a fully managed relational database with built-in high availability? Question 2. What type of database is Azure Cosmos DB? Question 3. Which tool can be used to move data between on-prem and Azure databases? Question 4. What is an elastic pool in Azure SQL Database? Question 5. What feature ensures near-zero downtime during Azure SQL maintenance? Question 6. Which query language does Azure Synapse Analytics support? Question 7. What is the purpose of partitioning in Azure Cosmos DB? Question 8. Which service supports big data querying across structured and unstructured data? Question 9. How does Azure SQL ensure automatic backups? Question 10. Which consistency model is not available in Cosmos DB? Question 11. Which tool in Azure is best for visual data pipeline orchestration? Question 12. What format does Azure Data Lake Gen 2 primarily support? Question 13. Which Azure SQL pricing model offers the most granular compute control? Question 14. Which Cosmos DB API is optimized for key-value pairs? Question 15. What is a key benefit of Synapse over traditional SQL? Question 16. What does Azure Database for PostgreSQL offer? Question 17. Which Cosmos DB consistency level provides the highest availability? Question 18. Which Azure service is ideal for building ETL pipelines? Question 19. In Synapse, what is a dedicated SQL pool? Question 20. Which language is used to write queries in log analytics? Question 21. Which tool provides code-free data flow design for ETL in Azure? Question 22. How does Cosmos DB ensure global distribution? Question 23. What does the Azure SQL georeplication feature offer? Question 24. Which format is best suited for analytics workloads in Azure Data Lake? Question 25. What does the vCore model in Azure SQL Database help with? Question 26. What is the main purpose of indexing in Azure SQL Database? Question 27. How does Azure Cosmos DB support low latency? Question 28. Which service supports native integration with Git for data pipelines? Question 29. Which storage engine is used by Cosmos DB SQL API? Question 30. What does Synapse Link provide for Cosmos DB? Question 31. Which deployment model is used in Azure Database for MySQL Flexible Server? Question 32. How are backups handled in Cosmos DB? Question 33. What feature in Synapse lets you visually explore data? Question 34. What ensures strong consistency in Cosmos DB? Question 35. Which component in Synapse allows Spark-based compute? Question 36. Which role is needed to modify Azure SQL firewalls? Question 37. What is the max number of Azure SQL replicas for geo-replication? Question 38. How can you scale Azure Cosmos DB throughput? Question 39. Which data source does Data Factory use to trigger data ingestion? Question 40. Which encryption is used by default in Azure SQL Database? Question 41. Which option in Cosmos DB allows instant failover? Question 42. Which Azure tool provides visual lineage tracking? Question 43. What database supports autoscale serverless compute? Question 44. What's the key advantage of Data Lake Gen 2 over blob storage? Question 45. Which Cosmos DB feature allows per-region failover priority? Question 46. Which compute tier supports burstable performance in SQL? Question 47. How does Synapse support pipeline execution without code? Question 48. Which language can be used in Synapse notebooks? Question 49. What are request units, RUs, in Cosmos DB? Question 50. Which service is best for batch ETL from SQL to ADLs? Well done! You've completed Part 4 of the Azure Quiz Series. From Cosmos DB to Synapse and Data Lake, your data skills just leveled up. Like, comment your score, and subscribe to FullStackDev for more quizzes.